Cybersecurity Frameworks, NIST and MITRE ATT&CK. How to pass the TryHackMe SAL1 multiple choice exam. Welcome back to the SAL1 exam prep series right here on CyberDefend Lab. Once again, my name is KD. Now, let's break down the NIST and MITRE ATT&CK frameworks so clearly you'll remember them mid-exam, even if you're sleep deprived, panicking, and surviving off of ramen noodles and Red Bull or Mountain Dew. If you're serious about passing the SAL1 multiple choice section, this YouTube series is your secret weapon. You can rewind, pause, and repeat. This YouTube series is your best friend and #1 study partner. Quick heads up before we jump in. CyberDefend Lab is not affiliated with TryHackMe, and we definitely do not have any inside scoop on the SAL1 exam. Everything in this video is based on publicly available material, and we're just here to help you structure your studies, specifically for the multiple choice section of the SAL1 exam. So think of this series as your free bonus study guide, not a replacement for TryHackMe's official content. All right, let's get into the frameworks that every SOC analyst needs to know. NIST Cybersecurity Framework, NIST CSF. All right, let's talk about NIST, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework, aka also known as the personal trainer of the cyber world. But it's not here to bulk up your muscles. It's here to make your security posture lean, flexible, and breach resistant. NIST CSF stands for National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework. It provides a structured set of guidelines to help organizations identify, protect, detect, respond to, and recover from cybersecurity threats. The NIST CSF breaks security down into 5 core functions. If you can remember these 5 and actually understand what each one does, you'll crush a bunch of the SAL1 multiple choice questions without breaking a sweat. Number 1, identify. This is step 1. You can't protect what you don't even know you have. Asset management. What devices, users, and systems exist in the environment? Risk assessments. What could go wrong? Governance. Who's responsible for what? Imagine you walk into your house and there's a random laptop on your kitchen counter. If you don't identify it as a problem, you might just start watching Netflix on it like it's yours. Boom, that's a data breach, and you're actually the breach. Number 2, protect. Now that you know what you have, let's put some armor on it. Access control. Who can log in? What can they do? Data security, encryption, backups, physical protection. Training. Making sure users don't fall for phishing emails like, "Congrats, you won a free gift card. Click here." It takes repetition and maybe some examples that hit close to home. Number 3, detect. This one is the spotlight. If someone gets past the gates, how fast can you spot them? Anomaly detection, unusual behavior, continuous monitoring, watching logs, traffic, devices, detection processes, using tools like SIEMs to automate it. Want to go deeper? Rewind this section and pause on the bullet points. We built this for replay power. This is why this YouTube channel is better than cramming. Number 4, respond. Let's say the worst happens. Someone's in your network. What do you do about it? Response planning. Who does what? When? How? Mitigation. Isolate the threat, block it, stop the spread. Improvements. Learn from it and level up your defense. Think of your SOC like a fire department. Detection is the smoke alarm. Response is when the firefighters roll up and say, "Whose toaster is on fire again?" Number 5, recover. All right, the fire's out now. Now what? Time to rebuild, report, and get better. Recovery planning, restore systems, re-enable access. Communications. Inform stakeholders. Stay transparent. Improvements. Close the gaps that got exploited. For example, if your phone gets hacked, NIST would ask, did you identify it as a risk? Did you protect it with a PIN? Can you detect unauthorized access? Do you have a response plan? And finally, can you recover your TikTok app? Just kidding. How SOCs use NIST. In a SOC environment, these 5 NIST functions are the foundation. Think of them as job roles. Detection team, that's detect. Incident response team, that's respond. IT and compliance, they're all over identify and protect. Business continuity and disaster recovery teams, that's recover. They help get systems back online and ensure the organization bounces back stronger. This is why understanding NIST actually helps you think like a SOC analyst, not just pass the test, not just pass a test. You'll look at any task and know where it fits in the big picture. All right, deep breath. NIST might be government created, but it's street smart if you break it down like this. And now that we've done some mental gymnastics with NIST, let's get tactical with MITRE ATT&CK. MITRE ATT&CK framework. All right, now that we've built a solid defense with NIST, let's flip the script and study the offense. Welcome to MITRE ATT&CK, aka the cheat sheet for understanding how hackers think. Except this one is totally legal and your cybersecurity best friend. What is MITRE ATT&CK? MITRE ATT&CK framework is basically the Avengers level database of how cyber criminals operate in the real world. It's used by red teams, blue teams, SOCs, threat hunters, everyone. Most study guides stop at know the terms, but you're here on our YouTube channel watching this series, and you're about to understand this framework well enough to apply it, not just memorize it. Tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs. Let's break down the famous TTPs because MITRE ATT&CK is built on these 3 layers. Tactics, what the attacker wants to do. Example, privilege escalation. They're trying to level up their powers, like going from intern to admin without permission. Techniques, how they do it. Example, process injection. Basically, hijacking a legitimate system process and using it for evil, like hiding malware inside a Windows process so it blends in like a chameleon. Procedures, real world play-by-play. Example, APT29 using PowerShell to dump credentials. These aren't made-up scenarios. They're based on actual cyber attacks in the wild. APT29 is a stealthy hacker group that uses a computer's built-in remote control tool, PowerShell, to sneak around, steal data, and stay hidden without raising alarms. Categories to know for the exam. Here are the categories you 100% need to recognize for the SAL1 multiple choice section. Don't just memorize the names. Understand what they look like in real life. Number 1, initial access. How attackers first break in. Phishing. Exploit public-facing apps. Number 2, execution. How they run code. For example, scripts, scheduled tasks, command line tools. Number 3, persistence. How they stick around after reboot. Registry keys, startup folders. Number 4, privilege escalation. How they gain more access. For example, abusing sudo, super user do. DLL injection. Number 5, defense evasion. How they avoid detection. Obfuscation, clearing logs. Number 6, credential access. How they steal passwords. Keylogging, dumping hashes. Number 7, discovery. How they learn the lay of the land. For example, scanning internal systems, user accounts. Number 8, lateral movement. How they move between systems. For example, remote desktop, SMB, pass the hash. Number 9, how they gather sensitive info. For example, screenshots, file grabs, clipboard data. Number 10, exfiltration, how they get the data out, upload to C2 servers, encrypted channels. Number 11, command and control, how they stay in touch, beaconing, web shells, C2 infrastructure. Why it's useful in a SOC. This isn't just theory. In a real SOC, MITRE ATT&CK helps analysts do 3 critical things. Number 1, map alerts to real-world attacker behavior. If you see a PowerShell script executing encoded commands, you're looking at execution plus defense evasion. Number 2, triage faster and smarter. Instead of guessing if something's bad, you check where it fits in MITRE, and boom, you know what stage the attacker is in. Finally, number 3, predict what's likely to happen next. If they've already moved laterally, collection and exfiltration might be next. Now you're not just reacting, you're threat hunting. Think of MITRE ATT&CK like Pokemon cards, but instead of collecting fire types, you're tracking malware behavior across categories like credential access and lateral movement. You don't need to catch them all, but you do need to recognize them when they show up in an alert. You can also think of MITRE ATT&CK like a playbook of break-in robbery techniques. Each tactic is a different move burglars use, and your job as a security guard is to recognize the method before they get too far. You don't need to know every trick in the book, but you do need to recognize the common ones when they show up. YouTube is the secret weapon. MITRE is deep, but guess what? This video, you can pause, rewind, and replay it as much as you need. That's why studying for SAL1 on our YouTube channel just makes sense. You're not just memorizing a list. You're learning how attackers think. That's what will separate you from every other test taker who's just flipping flashcards. And now that we've unpacked the hacker's playbook, let's wrap it up with some encouragement and your next move on our playlist. Why most people struggle with this. Let's talk about why this stuff, NIST and MITRE ATT&CK, makes people feel like they're reading ancient scrolls written in cybersecurity Latin. Here's the real issue. Most students try to memorize this stuff without context. That's like trying to learn to play basketball by reading the rule book but never stepping on the basketball court. It simply does not stick. That's why you're here on YouTube, because watching this explained with real examples actually activates your memory in a way flashcards never will. Common mistakes people make. Confusing MITRE tactics with tools. MITRE tells you what the bad guys are doing, not what tool they're using to do it. But I've seen students think PowerShell is a tactic. Nope. PowerShell is the how. MITRE cares about the why and what. It's all about behavior. Number 2, misunderstanding the flow of the NIST life cycle. Some people treat NIST's 5 steps like a checklist. Identify, check. Protect, check. But it's not one and done. It's a cycle. These functions support each other. You detect something that triggers a response. You learn from it. Now you recover stronger. And guess what? That might help you identify future risks. Number 3, thinking these frameworks are just bureaucratic checklists. Real talk. Some folks hear the word framework and immediately tune out like they're at a staff meeting about printer policy. But NIST and MITRE aren't just dusty government documents. They're battle-tested blueprints used by real SOC teams every day. If you treat them like homework, you'll forget them. If you treat them like tools, you'll pass the multiple choice section of the SAL exam and be dangerous in the SOC in a good way, of course. The struggle is real. So if you've struggled with these in the past, that's normal. It's not you. It's the way it's usually taught. But that's why our YouTube series exists, to make it finally make sense. You're not just memorizing definitions. You're learning to think like an analyst. That's how you pass the multiple choice section of the SAL1 exam. And that's how you start leveling up in this field. How to actually learn and retain this information. Okay, so now that we've called out the struggles, let's break the cycle. Let's talk about how to actually learn this stuff and retain it. Teaching strategy, making it visual. First up, visual memory. If you want to remember this when the exam timer is ticking, you've got to see it in your head. NIST is your 5-step staircase. Each step builds on the last. So, visualize yourself climbing. First, you identify the risk. Then you protect it. Detect intrusions, respond to threats, and recover from impact. Boom, you've got the structure. Take a look here. Identify, protect, detect, respond, recovery. MITRE attack. Think of the image here as the ultimate hacker cheat sheet, blown up on a giant screen. Each column is a bad guy's mission, like sneak in, stay invisible, or grab the loot. Under each column, their favorite dirty tricks: phishing emails, sneaky scripts, and totally not malware. It's documentation of their every move on a wall. You're not just looking at a chart, you're staring into the beautifully organized chaos of a hacker's brain, and it's your job to outsmart it. Exciting? Right. Take a look at this image. Let's connect it to real-world SOC tools. This isn't just a test, it's a job preview. So let's connect it to what real SOC teams actually use. Use SIEM to detect. That's where those logs come in hot. Use SOAR to respond. Playbooks, automation, alerts. This is where MITRE meets muscle. Seeing MITRE tactics show up in alerts, that's when this stuff finally clicks. And yes, TryHackMe shows you that in their learning path. So pay attention how those frameworks apply during labs. Use the MITRE website. Another pro tip, go play the MITRE ATT&CK Matrix website. Click on the tactics. Explore techniques. Read real-world procedures. This isn't just for exam prep. It's a weapon for threat hunting. Use this YouTube series like a study superpower. This is the YouTube era, my friend. Let's use it like it was built for your brain. Rewatch this video while making flashcards. Pause on each tactic and write down one real-world example. Make a playlist out of your weak spots. Loop the videos that challenge you the most. That's why we're not doing some fancy paid course. We're giving you a free, repeatable, on-demand study plan. That's the power of our YouTube series. Do you believe? Well, I believe in you. If you understand just the flow of NIST and the structure of MITRE, you're already ahead of 90% of people out there studying with no plan and only hoping it sticks. You're doing it differently and smarter. And that's going to show up not just in your exam score, but in how confident you'll feel walking into any cybersecurity conversation. Keep rewinding, keep learning, and trust the process. You've got this. Let's take a moment to recognize how far you've come in just one video. You're already absorbing frameworks that most professionals skim over or avoid entirely. And here you are, breaking them down step by step. You're putting in the work, and it's going to pay off. This isn't just about passing a test. It's about leveling up your mindset. You're putting in the work, and it's going to pay off. CyberDefend Lab exists for one reason: to help you crush the SAL1 multiple choice section. We're here to make this journey feel doable, empowering, and even a little bit fun. And let's be real, this YouTube series is your MVP in this mission. YouTube, rewind, pause, play with CyberDefend Lab equals exam success. Frameworks aren't rules, they're your roadmap. And right now, you're learning how to read that map like a pro. Whether it's NIST or MITRE ATT&CK, you now see how the pieces fit together. And trust me, most people never get that far. Take action now. If this video helped, NIST and MITRE finally make sense, smash that like button and subscribe to CyberDefend Lab for more exam-focused content. Comment below with your biggest takeaway or what still confuses you. We read every comment and we'll cover it in future videos. And don't stop now. Watch the next video in the playlist. Exam number 5, and then phishing, email security, and social engineering. That's another highly important topic for the SAL1 multiple choice section of the exam. And we've got you covered. You're doing amazing. Keep it up. And I'll see you in the next super powerful video of our study series. Reminder, the official playlist for all of our SAL1 multiple choice training videos and practice exams is linked in the pinned comment below. Don't miss it. It's your one-stop hub for mastering every concept you need to pass the multiple choice section of the TryHackMe SAL1 exam. Once again, my name is KD, and this is CyberDefend Lab at CyberDefend Lab.